Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and Trump is talking about immigration, so we'll check that out right now.
They send these people up,
see what he's got to say.
And they're not sending their finest. Does that sound familiar? Remember I made that speech and I was badly criticized? Oh, what's so terrible what he said. Turned out I was 100% right. That's why I got elected. We want a great country. We want a country with heart. But when people come up, they have to know they can't get in. Otherwise, it's never going to stop. Whether it was President Bush, President Obama, President Clinton, same policies. They can't get them changed because both sides are always fighting. This is maybe a great chance to have it changed. But one of them says, we want to hire 5,000 more judges. I don't want judges, I want border security. I don't want to try people. I don't want people coming in. Do you know if a person comes in and puts 1 foot on our ground, it's essentially welcome to America, welcome to our country. You never get them out. Because they take their name, they bring the name down, they file it, then they let the person go. They say, show back up to court in 1 year from now. 1 year. But here's the thing, that in itself is ridiculous. Like 3% come back. The other thing they have is they have professional lawyers. Some are for good, others are do-gooders, and others are bad people. And they tell these people exactly what to say. They say the following. They write it down. I am being harmed in my country. My country is extremely dangerous. I fear for my life. Say that. Congratulations. You'll never be removed. This is given to them by lawyers who are waiting for them to come up. And they're not all bad people. They're impractical people. But in a way, that's cheating because they're giving them statements. They're not coming up for that reason. They're coming up for many other reasons, and sometimes for that reason. There's been a 1,700% increase in asylum claims over the last 10 years. Think of that. Think of that. We're a great country, but you can't do that. Smugglers know how the system works. They game the system. They game it. It's so easy for them. They're smart. They didn't go to the Wharton School of Finance. They did. But you know what? They're really smart. The United States has just surpassed Germany as having the most asylum seekers of any nation on earth. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? And Germany, we talk about Germany, they allowed millions of people in. And by the way, their crime from the time they started is up more than 10%. And that's one of the reasons it's at that level is because they don't like reporting that kind of crime. So they put it down as different kind of crime. But their crime is up more than 10% since they started taking them in. I heard somebody said that crooked Hillary Clinton was questioning that statistic. She said, it's not true, it's not true. Didn't she already have her chance? I mean, I'll tell you what, when you read the IG report with these really dishonest people, and I was never a deep state guy. Let me tell you, we got some bad people that are doing bad things, but when you read that IG report about how she got away with what she got away with, it's a disgrace. It's a total disgrace. And you ought to see the hearings that are right now on television, but that folks are being, they're going on to the mainstream fake news media. They want to focus on immigration because they want to keep the cameras away from the hearings. Because those hearings are not good for them. In fact, they're a disaster for them. The whole thing is a scam. It's a scam. And what's happened is a disgrace. So we have a House that's getting ready to finalize an immigration package that they're going to brief me on later, and that I'm going to make changes to. We have one chance to get it right. We might as well get it right, or let's just keep it going, but let's do it right. We have a chance. We want to solve this problem. We want to solve family separation. I don't want children taken away from parents. And when you prosecute the parents for coming in illegally, which should happen, you have to take the children away. Now, we don't have to prosecute them, but then we're not prosecuting them for coming in illegally. That's not good. We want to end the border crisis by finally giving us the legal authorities and the resources to detain and remove illegal immigrant families altogether and bring them back to their country. We have to bring them back to their country. Now think of all that aid that we give some of these countries. Hundreds of millions of dollars we give to some of these countries, and they send them up. Well, I'm going to go very shortly for authorization that when countries abuse us by sending their people up, not their best, we're not going to give any more aid to those countries. Why the hell should we? Why should we? So this is a responsible, common sense approach that all lawmakers should embrace, Democrats and Republicans. And remember, we need the Democrats. People say, oh, you have the majority. Well, in the Senate, we have one, but you need 60. So we'll be at, if we get 100%, we'll be at 51. 100%, we'll be at 51. So we need 9 votes. We need 10, 12, 13 votes. We have to have Democrat support because we need to go not just a majority, unfortunately, which we could get. We need to go to 60 out of 100. We need Democrat support. They don't want to give it because Democrats love open borders. Let the whole world come in. Let the whole world, MS-13 gang members from all over the place, come on in. We have open borders. And they view that, possibly intelligently, except that it's destroying our country. They view that as potential voters. Someday, they're going to vote for Democrats. Because they can't win on their policies, which are horrible. They found that out in the last presidential election. In fact, their only policy was that Donald Trump is a bad guy, he's a bad person, vote against Trump. And they said it so many, there's hundreds of millions of dollars of negative ads. Nobody's ever been hit like that. I used to go home, I started disliking myself. It's true. I said, man, am I that bad? The problem is, they never told anybody what they're doing. They didn't talk about tax cuts. By the way, they want to take away your tax cuts and they want to substantially increase your taxes. They didn't talk about crime. All they talked about was Trump. So when people got to the booth, they said, we're going to vote Democrat. We're going to vote Democrat. But then they get up, they said, but what does she stand for? What do they stand for? They just say Trump. No, I'm going with Trump. And that's what happened. We got tremendous Democrat support. It's a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful night. Do you agree? That was a beautiful... That was some night. That was some night. But you have to stand for something. And you have to stand for safety and security of our country. We can't let people pour in. They've got to go through the process. And maybe it's politically correct, or maybe it's not. We got to stop separation of the families. But politically correct or not, we have a country that needs security, that needs safety, that has to be protected. So we're here today to talk about small business and the incredible progress we're making as a country. We really have made.
All right, so there's the President of the United States, Donald Trump, doubling down on the very controversial policy that he has put forward over the past several weeks. That will
they love him, dude. He's just money in the bank for them, for CNN, whoever. You know, it is just common sense. It's a lot of hysteria going on out there, and they're playing these pictures of and you know, and the audio of kids crying, and it sounds horrible and stuff, you know. And a lot of people who aren't really pay attention to politics, they see that and they immediately think, you know, we got to do something. I've heard it again and again from people who just don't pay attention to this stuff, and that's so. But it's pretty remarkable that he's the sole voice that'll stand up to these things. You know, I mean, open border. All right, so like I was saying, it is a lot of hysteria going on right now. And people are being shown pictures of crying babies and stuff like that, or hearing audio of children. And it sounds horrible. I mean, obviously, and looks horrible. But a lot of this is just, it's almost like propaganda, just trying to pull at the heartstrings of regular folks who don't really pay all that close attention to these political issues, and they just see those pictures and say something has to be done. You know, if I didn't already say it, you know, I think everything he's saying is just common sense, and it's a shame that he's just one of the few voices. Thank God, you know, that he's willing to stand up to the herd of greed. Okay, and it really is, man. Whether people, and I don't care, you know, the media, politicians, super wealthy executives of huge corporations. You know, my family's done okay, pretty good. My parents, every cent they have, they earn themselves just by scratching and clawing through life, you know. And everything they have, every penny they have, it's theirs. They made. And provides me a good life. I mean, I guess they'd be considered the 1% at the very, you know, small level, super small level. Not by any stretch of the imagination uber wealthy. That's who benefits from open borders, you know, and massive immigration. It really does. I have no problem with anybody. I'm telling you, I have acquaintances, basically friends, that are in these kinds of pickles who I like a lot, all right? But that doesn't mean I won't speak openly and truthfully about it. And that's who benefits the most from open borders. People like the Bush family and their campaign contributors, and the campaign contributors of all the politicians that are basically, you know, corporate executives of huge corporations. It's a 1% policy. That's who benefits from it. And the person that actually crosses the border. Those are the two people that win in that, you know. But the person crossing the border, you know, he's just a working class, you know, many times poor person. And, you know, it's people from his same background in this country that get hurt by that, you know. The 1% does good. It's not even as if they're not hurt. It's not as if they're not affected. They actually benefit from it, all right? You know, so for those people that benefit from it, to moralize to the working class folks of America and the people coming across this border are working class folks. It's just basically pitting groups of people against each other that don't have much, all right? And then have to fight for every little bit just to get by week by week. But for those people in the highest levels of society to moralize to the rest of America and tell them and to shame them, it's just wrong. It's really. And that's because this issue doesn't affect me, you know. It's not. I want to hear the truth, you know. And what you're hearing on the television isn't the truth. And the closest thing you get to the truth is what Trump says, you know. And he's a politician too, so there is some politics there, but he's one of the most honest and out there fighting for the regular folks that I've seen in a long time. And I'm with him, you know. I am. And that's that, dude. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in this next video. I got the same shirt on 2 days in a row. I wear my work clothes and then my house clothes. That's why you see, you know, I go back and forth. And I spend a lot of my day in my work clothes, but you'll see clothes 2 days in a row or even 3 days in a row just to keep the laundry down. All right. One more time. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.